As a Chelsea fan, I absolutely adore Tommy Tuchel. He took over when we seemed ever so slightly lost with no direction. We had just gone from a strange yet smart choice of Sarri to club legend, but hugely inexperienced Frank Lampard, who was then sacked 18 months into his tenure. Tommy T had recently been sacked by PSG after guiding them to the Champions League final, but in general had been an almost manager where he'd been successful at all clubs, but never quite pushed himself into the upper echelon of managers. He took over when we're ninth, and had a set philosophy of an efficient midfield and high wing-backs which box teams in. He went on to qualify for the Champions League by finishing fourth, make it to the FA Cup final, and beat the best-ever Manchester City team 3 times in the space of a month. In the FA Cup semi-final, League, and then in the historic Champions League final in Porto, he completely transformed us, and we then went on to win the Club World Cup and make the FA Cup and League Cup final, unfortunately losing both on penalties to live VAR pool, all whilst the club was being sanctioned by the UK government because they wanted a cut of the sale deal. We lost on aggregate to Real Madrid in the quarter-finals that year, in one of my favorite ever Chelsea games, where we played absolutely amazing at the Bernabeu, and at the time became the only English team to ever win at that historic stadium. Tuchel and the perfect cup manager, he gets his team up for the big occasion. We had Man City defeated before a ball was kicked in each Champions League final. Because he instills confidence into his team, he does tremendously at getting fans inside. Jose aside, he is my favorite Chelsea manager ever, and I will never forgive Blue Co for his unfair dismissal. I think he's learning on the job at international level. You're not with the players day in, day out. So all of these qualifiers and friendlies are essentially the time to make mistakes and get it right. The games against Andorra and Senegal were awful to watch, but it's the end of an awfully long season. And the only thing I would say is I would have liked to have seen some different season to rest the players like Kane, Bellingham, etc., who we know are certainties for the World Cup squad. I firmly believe if anyone will guide us to a World Cup, it is Thomas Tuchel. I've seen him work his magic on Chelsea, and I firmly trust him to turn a national team which has become an almost team into winners. Tuchel wasn't bought in to help us hit Andorra for 10. He was bought in to turn the crucial narrow defeats to France, Spain, and Italy into wins. He's an amazing big game manager, and that was our stumbling block under Southgate. He faced top 10 opposition 29 times in his tenure and won 7 of them. The first 4 games under Tuchel have been awful to watch, but I firmly believe if he was managing us in any of the last 3 tournaments, we turn them crucial narrow defeats into victories, and he will win us the World Cup in America. Thank you, as always, for watching. Please do take a second look, subscribe to the channel if you are new. As always, take care, football fans.